Welcome back. More shocking numbers now on the state of the economy during the coronavirus crisis. New figures say 16.8 million Americans have been forced out of their jobs in just 3 weeks. To put that in perspective, it's 1 in 10 Americans. Businesses, especially small businesses, are just trying to survive. Government at all levels is racing to provide help. And so today we're looking at the help available here in Wisconsin. We're talking with Missy Hughes, Secretary of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. Missy, we really appreciate your time. And I was just reading that half of small businesses could close in 2 months. That's according to the National Federation of Independent Businesses. So we want to know from you, what is the state of small business right now in Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's been really incredible to witness. What we've essentially seen is a tidal wave come across the state, hitting our businesses. So if you think about it, Adrian, we started out with the first order that required no less than 50 people gather at a time, or no more than 50 people. And then we went to 10, and then to the safer at home. So we've seen this impact on our businesses. First performance venues, then restaurants and cafes. And now we see really the small businesses across Wisconsin, whether it's beauty salons or restaurants, not being able to be open. And it's really had a devastating impact on the businesses all across the state, in all of our communities.
I hate to put it this way, but do you have a handle on how many small businesses won't survive this?
You know, I'm hearing numbers like what you just reflected, 1 out of 2. A lot of what I'm hearing is a time frame. If it goes on for another 30 days, if it goes on for another 60 days, we'll see more casualties from this situation. And so, there's a lot of data that's happening, and we're seeing a lot of the pain. But really what I'm hearing are the personal stories, and talking with small businesses and hearing about the impact that they're feeling and the concern they have for their employees, the challenges they have of navigating the federal stimulus that's coming in. As much as that seems, it's still a challenge to navigate it, and you'll find your way through the best choices. So there's a lot of challenges for our businesses right now.
And what is the lasting impact of this all on our state?
Well, I think, as we think about the quality of life that we so value here in Wisconsin, a lot of that has to do with this almost invisible fabric of businesses that we have. Independent contractors, food carts, small cafes, like everything that we almost take for granted. And the willingness of these businesses to go out there and be entrepreneurs and put their personal family savings on the line, really what we're seeing is going to be the disintegration of that unless we step in and find innovative, creative ways to make sure that we support them and get them through this crisis. One of the things that we're thinking about at WEDC is, how do we help these businesses open their doors when the time comes? God willing, as my dad would say, in the next few weeks, if we're able to start reopening businesses, they're going to need to buy inventory. They're going to need to float payroll, do some marketing to let their customers know that they're open. So we're trying to think about what are those resources that can restart these businesses. I'm calling it the starter fluid for the engine of the economy. How do we help and be ready to help those businesses at that time?
We're getting calls here in the newsroom every single day about people who are desperate or confused about what they qualify for. So how is the WEDC offering help to businesses right now?
One of the great things we have in Wisconsin is an incredible network of economic developers, of chambers of commerce, and of community banks. And that network is really coming together. And I urge small businesses, first and foremost, to reach out to those networks for help navigating, because there is a ton of information coming across, and it's really hard to know which programs to access, what order to do applications in. And we're learning as we go, but that support system is going to be able to help small businesses access those funds. And primarily the resources that are available right now are coming from the federal stimulus. What we're doing a little bit is really trying to understand where are the gaps, where are the businesses that can't access those funds, and then we can think about how do we fill those gaps, either from the state level or through the next federal stimulus. We look, we're providing information about those gaps. It's places like nonprofits, the arts councils, and these really small micro businesses that are, what is a term I'm learning, underbanked or unbanked, and therefore they can't access the small business loans. And so we're really trying to understand how we can help them.
Missy Hughes with the WEDC, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, the latest on the Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee. We already know the date changed, but could it go virtual?